There we go. Okay, I'm gonna hit go live. Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Hope you're doing well. We got a big day. We're gonna be celebrating. We're gonna be giving away a couple Rage. Apologies for the delays, technical difficulties, trying to sort out some audio stuff on OBS and get the tools going. Let me know in the chat. Make sure that everything's cool. I want to make sure you can in fact hear me and that you're not getting any sort of I don't know, problems on your end. Your thoughts on the current rank overall? Great question, Marcos. I see you in the chat. Hey, Dwayne, what are your thoughts on the current rank overall? Before I get into any of the topics, I want to make certain that the audio is good. On my end, it looks good. Larkin, good to see you, buddy. Marcos, Larkin, Gathering the Magic, Nicola. Jim's hanging out too in the background here. I'm not sure if everybody can hear him, but again, okay. Tarab says the sound's great. Love it.
Hello there.
Jim, how you doing?
You know, it's going great. I hope they can hear me.
We'll find out in a second, but I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, Tarab says the sound is great. Love it. Can you mute the
Beautiful.
stream? Jim, can you mute the stream?
Yeah, it's working. I just heard it. Sorry about that.
Amazing. Okay, guys. So, yeah, technical difficulties plus like a really exciting meeting before this. I didn't really get to talk to Jim about this before we went live, but big day for, well, a big step in sort of my real life happened this morning. I had a half an hour meeting before I went live with you guys. That's why part of why I was late. Meeting with a social worker to talk about adopting a little boy. It's not finalized. It's by no means finalized, but we got to see a video of him playing. He's so adorable. And, you know, I know very little about, like, they give, when this is happening, they give you like little bits of about who he is, how old, what's he like. And today was the first time we got to see him at all in a video form or otherwise. And we are moving ahead in terms of they want us to meet him and this kind of thing, but there's lots of steps. So it's not finalized, but it's the first time in 5 years of us trying to adopt a kid that we've gotten to this place where we've, you know, been considered and we're being asked to consider. And so very exciting stuff for us. We are very pumped. Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's a big deal. We would be having 3. We got 2 girls. This would be the first boy in our family, and so we'll see how that goes. Jimmy, you got a sister. You got a brother too. I forget.
Yeah, one brother, one sister. My sister's a year older than myself, or close to, yeah, a little over 1 year. And my brother is 8 years younger than me.
Nice. That's a pretty big jump between the ages, but you know, not entirely unheard of, but like, you know, usually often like 2 is like a very common gap.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Yep. So, life happens.
That's right. That's right. Okay, let me see if I can drop that question on the chat. Looking for, I want to see if my full system is working here. Let's see if OBS is showing that. No, I'm not getting it on my, okay, I'm going to grab that. I want to be able to share my conversation. Boom. Okay. Now let's try that again. Boom. There it is. Great question, Marcos. Thank you for the chat. And guys, by the way, we're going to be hanging out for 2 hours. I do have 2 legendary rages. Let people know if you have friends in this space that they might benefit from a legendary rage rebellion monster. Invite them hanging out. Hanging out here today, we'll have an opportunity to win. I am going to give some extra opportunities to my channel members as well as I think that's the distinction. I think it's like a 2-level thing. So if you're like a channel member, you get a slightly bigger probability of being dropped or selected. And then if you're just like hanging out, you'll have a chance to. So we'll talk about that more today as we go along here, but I definitely want to hang out. It's been the first live in like 2 weeks, maybe even 3. I've been really sick for the last 2 weeks. I had laryngitis, lost my voice completely. That was probably 2 weeks ago. And then last week I was coughing this like really dry, painful cough that I just couldn't kick. And even today I still have it. So for that reason, I just want to hang out today and answer questions, do a bit of a frequently asked questions, respond to the chat, however you guys are, whatever you're thinking about. But definitely we will get into some giveaways a little bit later too.
Man, I hope I win.
You might, you just might. Jim, have you been tracking with the big changes on the rank overhaul?
I did hear about it. I watched a bit of the town hall yesterday, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I heard about the changes to the rank system. So I'm able to use like maxed out cards at any point in the game now?
Yes. So the changes that are available, I think to start with are that you are going to earn, like as we see this battle play out, we're going to see something about it. But because this is within the like new regime, and I'm on the bottom and my opponent's on top. Let's see. We are in. I believe this was a gold battle. Actually, no, this is a diamond battle. So that doesn't really show much. But I think you can play any level monster, regardless of league level, which should help leveling up. And the second piece is that when you win, you're not earning loot chests any longer. You're earning
these points, right?
Yeah, points that can be used for loot chests if that's what you're inclined to do.
And then where do you go to buy those? Is that in the shop?
I don't know if that's fully resolved yet. So that was my last win. I got 3.8 SPS, which is bigger, by the way. That's 3.8 SPS in Diamond at 3,800, which is bigger than I would say last season, which is partly because they're changing how SPS is just doled out within the context of the wins, because it's not being included within the chests. So that's one of the massive changes, that it's not going to be included with the chests. And that SPS delegation or handout is now going to be apportioned, I think is the word, like reset out or delivered to us in a new way through rank battles alone, which means that there should be way more SPS per win. But there's such a small population of people in modern that should translate to even a bigger sort of impact.
Yeah.
Let's fight a couple battles in modern here. I want to see if I can win one and what that'll look like. First of all, it should be able to show me what cards can I play. So what's this? Fab 4. Up to 4 units can be used. Cool. I haven't seen that rule set yet. Melee only. Okay, so I'm in 2,300 is my rank in modern, but look, in the modern league I can use level 8. These are max level. I'm in what, gold, I think, but these are diamond level drops.
Oh, so you're gonna destroy kids.
Yeah, I mean, it really should translate to like a rapid ascension. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Because I just want to throw money at the screen, you know?
Let's see about this guy here. Boom, boom. I can only do 4. I love that. Look at the little window here. I can only pick 4 slots. And
that's awesome.
And
it's max mana. That's awesome.
What's the play? I'd love to win the first one because I want to see what the rewards end up looking like. I think Dry Bones might be a bit too slow. I'm actually gonna go away from that. Drop in the Captain Fellblade. He's got the double attack and he's got bigger speed. I'm tempted to do on my front line Lurker or Demon Shark, but Lurker's speed, I'm not bringing any blind or anything like that, so that makes me a little bit like it's probably gonna go down faster than I want.
I think it's worth it.
You think the Coral Lurker with the speed and the dodge?
Yeah.
The dodge could be,
because then you're also gonna protect your back line with the taunt.
You're right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do I have any blind?
Because they all have what? Sneak or something? What is
Everybody's got melee. They can all attack the front line. So if like my yeah. So that makes me want to try something a little. Oh, I'd love to put in one of these blind monsters, but I do like the Coral Lurker. So Coral Lurker up front. You know what? I'm going to put the Coral Lurker in the second spot, because that way Artemis, if he has a big
Yeah.
monster in the front line, they'll shoot Artemis,
Yeah.
and it a little bit divides
Split
his.
it.
Yeah. See,
Yeah, split it up.
Buddy can only hit him, whereas these guys
Yeah.
can hit him.
Yeah.
So let's see how that works. Hopefully, I
And
win
they
this.
are pretty fast.
Yeah,
They're matching your speed essentially.
this guy with the 1 speed is going to have a hard time. And my magic sneak actually is going to actually cause problems for the Coastal Sentry in a big way. I think this might be a reason why I end up winning. But let's see if I do, because I want to see what the SPS rewards are like. You know, in Gold League last season in Modern, I was getting 5 to 6 SPS per win. That was a big miss.
You've got 2 dodges because of that evasion. That's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's a wrap.
Yeah,
And now,
this is over.
boom.
Beautiful.
And this Captain Fellblade is a serious card.
Yeah, that guy's real good.
So let's see how many SPS we get for that. I'm pretty convinced that Modern is going to be like, okay, only 1.5.
Well, what was his rating? Do we know?
1600. Mine. Okay, see, here's the deal. That was a Silver League victory, and
Yeah.
because even though I was in Gold, I got bumped back. That makes sense. So 1.5 SPS in Silver is way better than Wild. And I was just using max level cards in Silver right there. So that's one of the big changes. And the second is that you are getting more SPS, and the third is that you're going to use your points to buy chests, which I don't exactly know how that's going to work. It looks like, well, it does look like I'm tracking chests. So is it the next season that this is happening? That's all I know, and that's what I've seen. Let's see what the chat's saying about this. They said the killer whales didn't have
I like that.
up yet. I thought changes. Tarab says he got myself a set of max fiends, probably the easiest boost for me. Currently waiting on my rental summoners to cancel so I can level up all my Chaos Legion summoners, level 8. Looking forward to this change. I definitely think that's going to be one of the biggest things, and I do believe that there's going to be people that are late to that discovery, meaning there's an opportunity right now to use max level cards in Silver, as I just did. And you would think I'll cruise out of Silver, out of Gold into Diamond, where I quote unquote belong. People have said for a long time, I'm getting stuck at lower elos, and that's annoying. Well, you know, it seems like that's never going to happen again with this new context.
Yeah. As much as I like the old way of doing it, I also really like this way of setting up the ranks.
Yeah.
You know, and sure, it's bad because like the people who now have to go up against these other people, you know, who are utilizing max cards when you're like, oh, well, I was just playing in Silver, but now someone who's just going to be running through the ranks, well, maybe I got to verse him like 2 times because, you know, I'm playing at a certain time. And when you only get a certain amount of games every single day, it's kind of a feels bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, I understand.
Yeah. I would say it's most frustrating under the old context where, yeah, like you're going to end up playing, you only have so many battles. Well, you always have only so many battles, but you are stuck playing some of these guys who should be or could be like Diamond, and they're in your way at Gold, or they could be Gold or Diamond, but they're fighting in Silver and they're in your way. So you really can't. And in the past, last season even, we saw Gold League. If you wanted to ascend Diamond, you actually needed to have like 200. You needed to be. I might misremember this data, but it was something like you need enough points to ascend into Diamond in order to be on the leaderboard, I think, which is saying a lot about, you know, who's sticking around and who your competition is within that league. Now, if I'm getting matched with anybody kind of in my rank point range, and in your deck versus my deck, anything goes. Not only is there more ability for you to climb as high as you're both able from a talent as well as from a card deck perspective, but also you shouldn't be held back. And that's one of the cool things, like being held back by other people just choosing to kind of gate that next level is a, I would say, annoying at minimum.
Yeah.
Let's do the arcane over here. Boom, boom, bit of a sneak play. I'm still tinkering around with the cane to see what this is like, how best to utilize this. But like I'm tempted to drop like a puppet Pezep up in the first spot for a double strike, but he's just too. I'm gonna do it too. We're gonna go for it.
What does that one give? Is it ambush or is it sneak?
So a cane does the ambush functionality. Let's go, and then I want 5.
Is it a cane or akane?
Good question. I say a cane, but that's just because I like speaking correctly. Some people choose
You
to.
like speaking correctly, he says.
I'm
That
going
is
super
messed
squishy right
up.
now. Let's see. Super, super squishy. And no, that's not good. I gotta go 4. 4. Boom.
I'm pretty sure it's akane.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay, so I put 2 sneak attack players. I could go sneak. I'm going to run into a thorns, but that's not going to be the end of the world. I would hit him with my. I would kill him. Does he have a strengthen? I'm running out of time. He does no strength. I would kill him and hurt him. That would be really valuable to me. But if I do double strike here, I should kill him before. Yeah, so we got to go boom. And then I'll hit him for 8, and he would finish him. If we go this way and stun, we got a 50% chance to stun. That'll be 2 plus 8 is 10.
Or you can just kill it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's the way to go. Delete the front line. And then that's all the ambush phase, and I should get a second level of Puppet Master should get there. Puppet Possessed Puppet should fire again in the second round, or in the first round. Boom.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and there's the martyr too.
Oh, super beautiful.
Yeah, I mean this feels like
Could you have asked for a better startup? Oh my goodness, dude. This is oh my god. He's just dead.
I think this is going to be way more satisfying. And not only for all the reasons we just said, but also because now you actually have the power to I think immediately affect change in your game. So what I mean is you are stuck in silver. If you buy a summoner, like Terebs was saying in his comment, if you buy a summoner or a certain key card and get it up to diamond or gold, you're going to just fly through that league. Like it's just not going to be a problem for you. But the bonuses are, I think, plus 20 or minus 20 every time now, if I recall correctly. Is there a win streak bonus, guys? I feel like there was maybe a win streak bonus. Yeah, I think there might be. But I think this is a great change. I think this is a really significant change from a player. I did a video this week talking about player agency and why it's absolutely crucial to see your game flourish. Whatever game you're into, blockchain-based video games will flourish so long as the player receives a sense of control, agency in how they act, and that truly changes the outcome. If it really is, black or white, what is the best approach? That's not very entertaining. But with a game like this, there's tons of options, and you can actually control in a way that hasn't been the case up until now. You can control the input of power in a totally fresh way, like leveling up those summoners. And somebody said in the chat that the summoners, it might have been Tereb, but somebody said in the chat that the cards on the marketplace are going quick, the summoners in particular, and I've seen that to be true. I've been tracking, and I encourage you guys to do this as well. Whatever summoners you're into, I would encourage you to track them, and you can look at the price points, and there are sites that'll do this too. I forget, maybe Splinter Cards does this. There are ways to track this in a formalized way, but I mean, even from my perspective, what I'm deeply interested in is Chaos Legion, because I expect them to be affordable, and because I know they're really powerful. So from that perspective alone, I've been looking at the gold foils, and I've been looking at the legendaries. I know for a fact that Lay Shield Paw is one of the best summoners in the game. Not the best, but one of the best. And that has been proven across a long series of data, like over a long period of time. And if you agree, the question is, are you tracking sort of where that price point's at? One, maybe you already have the card, but if you don't, especially now with how this is changing, do you have it to the level that you want to reach, not just the level that you are currently playing? It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Look at that win record, 588. It's a solid card. Okay, let's check in with the chat a bit. Marco says, I want to hear your thoughts on vouchers. People bought a lot of this at the start of the ranked. Now things are okay, but now there's another soft peg of 100 DEC. Are you saying there's a soft peg at 100 DEC per voucher because you're referring to how they accept them for energy? I haven't looked closely at that. So let me look at this. So you can use vouchers now, Jim. If you didn't know, you can use them to buy energy. If I wanted to use DEC,
okay.
I would spend 500 DEC to get 1 energy at my league level, or vouchers, 5 vouchers. So 1 voucher equals 100 DEC, which makes it a 10-cent token in their mind, right? Because 1,000 DEC is $1, so 100 is 10 cents. So yeah, the game is essentially saying a voucher equates to, no, hang on, my bad. Because if one energy costs 500 DEC, that's 50 cents. So if yes, and then if one energy costs 5 vouchers, that means each voucher is worth 100, which is 10 cents. So they've tried to set up they have vouchers is kind of weird, right? They offer like a 20-cent valuation with respect to Rebellion. They offer a 10-cent valuation here on energy. I don't think they really have figured this out. And there needs to be cohesion here. It also seems like sometimes it's $1, isn't it $1 with, or even $5 if you look at the validator nodes? Not that anybody's buying those right now. Let me see this. Licenses. I do think we absolutely need to see cohesion here with respect to the price. Yeah, $5 per voucher. It's like, what is a voucher? It needs to be far more clear, or I don't think it's ever going to start being sort of bought up on the marketplace. People are going to continue to ignore it. I'm surprised that it is at 4.1 cents. Interesting. So that's up from like last week or whatever, where it was around 3.5. So what that's telling me is that people are actually buying them because of energy, because they bought them around up to about 3.5 cents while you could use them for Rebellion packs. But they buy them above 4 cents now that you can use them with respect to energy. That's interesting to me. Yeah, I think Marcos, the play is if you're interested in sort of voucher utility, that's really going to come from a place of scarcity. And that's going to come if we get to a place where it's desirable enough to spend them in the context of in a repeatable context, a replicatable context. And to me, clearly Rebellion packs moving a couple thousand packs a day, it's not going to move the needle with respect to voucher scarcity. But if energy, I do think there's a lot of people who buy energy. And right now, I would argue vouchers are a discount. So with the data I showed you, at my league level, I can spend 50 cents, 500 DEC, or I can spend 5 vouchers. 5 vouchers is 20 cents. So I can spend 50 cents in DEC or 20 cents in vouchers. That's pretty desirable to me. Now, I don't have that many vouchers to go burning through, and I bet I move the market if I tried to chase after thousands and thousands of these things. But I'm interested to see how that plays out. Looks like you could buy about 2,000 vouchers if you wanted, and relatively, keep the price point relatively low. But that's not 2 million. That's not 20,000. The market gets moved pretty quick, is what I'm saying. Jim, are you sitting on any vouchers?
Yeah, I know I tend to sell them every now and again. But actually, let me see how much I'm at right now. I have about 250 right now. So, you know me, I've been kind of going a little more ham on those tower defense packs.
Yeah, that's feeling more close than ever, I would say.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Can't wait to see what happens.
Nicholas says 25 played 25 battles yesterday and 7 and 8 went 7 and 8 were 7 out of 8 of them 7 or 8 of them were champion players, which I met in gold at 2K rating. And that's a comment following up on Marcus saying that check out the leaderboard. It shows how low player base is we have with Splinterlands. That means it's just a few players wanting to play would move the market. I think we've seen like I think you're making a good point, Marcus and Nicola. I would take it one step further and show like just say the data is in when you look at these cards. Like I was looking at Lily Shieldpaw, I want to say a month ago, 2 months ago, and I was saying, man, it was $50 a unit, and I was saying like, oh, I really want to get it. And there's look at this, there's 6 BCX available, 6. People talk about how Chaos Legion's like so overpopulated. Yeah, I know there was tons of packs, but the question is like the best of the best cards. Do you think there's enough of the best for everybody? The answer is clearly no. Even if we have a small, desirable sort of group of people that are chasing after this thing, let alone player growth. And we start to talk about how the rank changes, I think, make the game more entertaining. We look at things like Arcade Colony and how that might drive more player adoption. We look at the Bitcoin bull market and the expectation that SPS might follow. It's really easy to start imagining how things could even moderately grow. And also the killer whales thing. I saw somebody in the comments say killer whales didn't really move the needle. I don't know that that's like I don't ever look for like one thing to move the needle, to like change things. But you start to put this picture together of all of those things I just mentioned, and you start to see how the scales are beginning to tip. And you pointed to it, like, one, there's not enough players, there's not many players in here, and yet card prices are ticking up. And so I go, if I look at the shield paw and it was $50 and now the lowest is 100 and the one after that's 150, and I go, some of these other cards, like looks Quicks the Devious, there's 7 copies of that thing. There's 5 of Grandmaster Wraith, etc. And these are the gold foils, but I mean, it's not even, as you look at some of these too, like shield paw regular foil, 19, $20 per BCX. This thing was 7 or 8 a few months ago. And so absolutely, there's only 37 cards available on the regular foil version. So it feels very possible to me that we see a card bull market irrespective of true player adoption. And then as you start to imagine that SPS prices could pump while BTC is pumping, and that what that would do with respect to liquidity pools and peaking interest and people wanting to play the LPs to chase after APR, and that would lead to people buying SPS and DEC or buying SPS to burn it for DEC. All of that, absolutely, these are dominoes and they're all lined up, and it's the question is like which one gets knocked over first. Players can grow because the game is changing with rank. BTC could trigger something within the altcoin season. As altcoins start to move, SPS following procs something within the LPs, and there's just so many more sort of catalysts within there too that are very, very exciting. Okay, let's check out the what we got from a stat perspective here. Who's hanging out? How many have we got? We got 26 concurrent viewers. Guys, what do we got likes wise? 15 likes. Do me a favor, drop the like, let people know. I'd love to see 40 people in here before we give away our first copy. And that'll be, I mean, in about 10, 15 minutes here. And yeah, just appreciate you guys for hanging out. Thank you so much. Oh. JPH, good to see you. Skyer, thanks for coming to hang out. Nathan, thanks, buddy. Thanks for showing yourself destroying me. Marcos, 3, you get 40. No. Okay. So Marcos says with respect to win streak, if you get 3 in a row, you get 40. Hank said no win streak in champ. Okay. So I just won 2 in a row. I should get a third if I should get 40 if I win the next one. Prior to this change, I was stuck in bronze, silver 3, modern for 4 seasons. I gave up trying. Now I'm excited to play. I'm buying cards and making plans, so it worked. I think this is the exact point. This is in fact, I'd say what you just said there is like the home run that Splinterlands has been striving for. They want people to actually feel, they've said for years, that they want people to feel like they, it's not just about what can I get out of Splinterlands. It's about, how can I grow what I'm doing in Splinterlands? And so they want us to buy packs. They want us to buy cards. They want us to be excited about the new promo or the new edition, etc. And for the most part, there are collectors here and they never left, like myself, who have been enjoying the process and loving it. But I would argue a lot of the people that did leave are going to be within that range of, I hit a wall and I didn't want to sink in a bunch more money because I didn't see how that would directly move the needle. Even when I buy, diamond level summoners and I'm fighting my way out of bronze, I've been there, you've been there, you will get level locked, or at least you would have. And now there's actually a choice. If you like it enough and if you want to play at the higher levels, you get that card and you're going to climb. I do wonder what this is going to do for rentals, because I would suspect this makes rental prices go up, because I would think the impact of owning these key cards or having access to these key cards is bigger than ever, which might mean that the people go chasing to the rental market, to sort of get access to those amazing cards to climb out of league levels that they're stuck in. But then they need to stay at those higher league levels because they get used to those rewards. Well, is that going to, you either play the rental market or you buy the card? And I suspect that creates new demand for rentals, which drive up rental revenues, which ultimately leans on or pushes card prices higher. And maybe that's part of what we were already alluding to, because definitely scarcity, these cards are getting more and more scarce. And I'm pointing you to Chaos Legion. Like, forget about Rift Watchers or Rebellion. And I think we've seen with Rebellion, it's pretty much the same story. Like, even today, regular foil commons, like the worst of the worst here, 9 cents per BCX, is still going to be, that's not a cheap buy. What is that? $65 for a copy of this card. And it's the one that is like sort of the least or the most overlooked. I would say that's pretty darn expensive, considering in the past I've bought max commons for $10. And, I'm talking about some of those reward cards, for instance. Pellicor Bandit or Pellicor, or even $2 for like the fire, non-attacking fire unit. I almost sold my this one, Heatsmith. $1.50, $2 for a Heatsmith. And that's a 400 copy card. Whereas I just showed you one of the Rebellion, $65. Now I know Rebellion has a far smaller sort of print rate, and I also know that Rebellion is desirable because it works in your mage wagons. But I'm saying, like, we've just seen the prices on Rebellion are not even close to cheap. And yet I don't think they're going to get cheap anytime soon, because of all those factors I pointed to a moment ago. Jim, have you touched any of the Rebellion cards, bought any of those packs, or done anything with that set?
I have a couple packs that I have going into the conflicts for me. So, but again, it's not a whole lot. And I think I have 12 right now. So I unfortunately couldn't get a rage with my 5 tries, but I'm gonna try and get a couple more this next one, and maybe over time just get a couple, maybe one here or there.
I
But honestly, with the new changes, I'm really considering getting back into it.
sorry about that, guys.
And
Um,
and honestly, people ain't gonna like me. They're not gonna like me in these low ranks.
because you got that Lux. That's another one.
Oh yeah.
Lux should be benefiting from this, I think, because as people
Oh yeah.
see, like that's a card that just works in a lot of situations and will carry you out of bronze, silver, gold.
Yeah. You
Thank
know
you.
what the worst part is? They're
Go.
not gonna like that people in the low levels don't really have to worry about a lot of the craziness of the higher level cards,
Mhm.
but we do have that Dr. Blight at level max level as well.
Yeah,
And that's dirty.
yeah, and that one's price has gone way up too recently. Look at this. The 7 day average for Lily Shield Paw regular foil, $10.
Oh,
And
that's
so like,
beautiful.
which means 3 days ago it was selling for $10. And then someone came in and was like, oh my goodness, we're running out of cards and I need these, and bought like probably, I don't, let's see how many units. There was in the last 3 days ago, somebody bought 37 units of that thing.
Yeah.
Or I would assume it's somebody, but it might be a few people. But I mean, is that four people? Is it, five? It's not 100 people that bought those. And so these are
Yeah.
razor thin markets, and these are allegedly the cards that everyone said there's way too many of them, they'll never appreciate. We've heard that for 2 years now. Chaos Legion, the
Yep.
number of times that I've seen other YouTubers talk about, the only person who has stood with me firm on the fact that Chaos Legion has a place in the sort of the future price appreciation, the only YouTuber, and I have to give shout out to, he was here earlier, Gathering the Magic. He's the only one who's constantly said, one day Chaos Legion are going to be scarce from a perspective of like, there'll be a number burnt, there'll be a number held up on different accounts, and the marketplace will grow the margins will grow thin. And I believe this is indication that that was right. Now, I also think this is the tip of an iceberg. I'm not saying Lily Shield Paw is going to spike, even higher in the near future, but I do think exceptional cards deserve a high price point, and this is clearly an exceptional card. And when we
Yeah.
look at the market, and there's only 37 copies on here, yes, a couple of them are max, but I mean, this is a great card. And apparently, somebody thought it was worth more than they bought every unit under $20 pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. See.
Man, so many of these cards are so cheap. It's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Scargore 72 cents. Holy cow.
Guys, we got 31 viewers, 17 likes. Drop that like. We'll give away our first rage here in a moment. I'm going to get that all queued up. In the meantime, guys, drop something in the chat. Make sure the chat knows that you're here, because I'm going to be using that data to organize the giveaway. I'm going to pop over in here and check on my production, by the way. I've been doing better recently. I've been able to pull a couple shards or whatever they're called. Let's do my search right now.
Awesome.
I think I've got a couple rares and a couple commons from the totem fragments is what I mean to say.
I still ain't got nothing.
Well, you only have one, don't you? Only got one or two?
How
Two?
dare you? I have two.
I'm working on 30 or something like that. I think I've got 38 or so, but I think I've got
Yeah.
maybe 28 or 30 activated.
Are you looking for any more?
I am, but not at this very moment. Yes, but like right now, I'm fixated on filling my mage wagons, which I need to go over here and
Yeah.
cards. Yeah, Rage, man. Rage is like another example of the price points going a little ham. The other day,
Yeah.
there was over 100 copies of this card on the marketplace, and it was selling for like 17.50. And
Yeah.
and now look at this, $31 today, and there's only
They
22
need 'em
copies
maxed
left.
out.
What's
That
that?
card's crazy.
Yeah,
I said they need 'em maxed out. That card's a little crazy.
it is. It is, man. It is crazy. It's a very powerful card, and
Uh,
I would say it's, you know, it's really amazing to get it into that fourth range if you can, but frankly, anything on level 2 or above with that weapon training, and of course life leech is just such a beast addition to
I
this
think you
thing.
just need it level 3
Yeah.
because then you can't get force fielded.
Mm, yeah, I see your point. Yeah,
Yeah.
level 3 is where I'm focusing right now. I only have a level 2. But then the problem is I also want Nalara. I also want Kai when she comes out. Um,
Do we
I
know what Kai does?
yeah. Um, Hamstring is this new ability that allows her to attack units. She takes when she hits you, she'll reduce your melee damage by 1. And I think that's compounding.
Oh,
So it's like this like erosion to your melee damage.
oh, okay.
So she's got that in on the first of level. Then she has reach on the first level, so you can put her in the second spot. She only has 6 hit
Yeah.
points, so she's not super tanky, but she's got a good solid speed and like a decent damage output. She also has ambush,
Yeah.
which like we saw in that last video is like, you know, you get that second attack. True strike and
Pretty nuts.
shatter. Shatter's pretty boss. I would say this card is like best at silver or at champion.
Cool.
And it's 6 mana, which is far more affordable than Rage. Okay, we're gonna do this.
Now,
What's
now
that?
we don't even have to say silver or champion. Now we just say what level.
Mm-hmm. It's like your RP is more important than I guess the because whatever your
Yeah.
not your RP, whatever your yeah, whatever your rank points are. Like if you're at 2300, then you're like, you know, you're generally in that gold
Your
range. Not to
your
say that you're
elo. Yeah.
gold, but your elo number.
Yeah.
Okay, so where's my rage at? Boom. I got 2 copies. They've been grinding away on my mage wagons. I'll be sad to see them go. Clear slot, confirm. And this is from a special donor to the channel, just somebody who wanted to remain anonymous and just wanted to say thank you to, you know, people who love Splinterlands, who are constantly supporting YouTubers like myself and, you know,
Yeah.
gathering the magic and participated in this. Bronze Dragon. I've got them written down somewhere, but I won't remember them all off the top of my head. But yeah, the donor or donors were able to give out, I'm thinking like 10, 12 of these copies of cards in order to sort of make sure that the community is excited and has this ongoing conversation around Splinterlands, really.
I think we should do a giveaway to someone who's been here for over 2 years.
That's the requirement.
Yeah, yeah. They need to have the highest badge available, the loyalty badge.
Mm.
And they have to be in the chat right now.
Yep. There, you might not be the only one, but you'd be one of the only ones.
All right.
Bina, thank you.
How do I see everyone who's in here? Participants. Oh man.
Actually, let me see. Go in here. Boom. Pull up Nightbot. Let's go into make you big.
Who here is how long has Eli been here?
Eli's good question. A long time. A long time. Right now,
Was that a
guys,
12?
I want you to make sure you drop something in the chat. I want you to that's gonna allow me to track you. Drop a
Oh,
comment.
Eli might actually be 2 years. I think that's the 2 year one. I can't really tell. It's hard to see.
There. Boom. Eli might know. I actually can't remember, to be honest. But yeah, it's been a long while. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, well, I give that a minute. I'm just going to check into the chat again here. Terab the Bold. Vouchers represent a discount for energy at the moment. Just looked at my silver 3 alt. 1 energy is 40 DC, but 0.4 vouchers equates to 16 DC. Yep. At every level, something like that will happen. So your vouchers are going to represent a discount at every level for energy. Right now, if you want to chase after some more points and rewards, interesting to think through because it's the first time you've had access to that. And right now, vouchers are low. But I do wonder, I'm not saying that vouchers will pump, but it makes me wonder, will vouchers pump? Because right
They,
now,
they've been pumping.
yeah, I mean, yeah, 3 to 4 cents is a big deal, but could they go to closer to 10 because that's the peg that's being established because of energy? So,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to 6 or 7 cents, is what I'm saying.
Right.
I just grabbed five. He bought 500 more vouchers on BSwap. Marcos, Dwayne, most important thing is it seems games more fun now. What do you think? I definitely agree because it is not fun to be held back by someone else gatekeeping. Like if there are 20 or 30 accounts in gold, which is the case last season, that were holding themselves in gold because the SPS rewards were the disproportionately higher there. You know what that means? It means that it means that um, that they're gatekeeping other players because you need to, like, if there's 20 accounts fighting in high gold enjoying those SPS rewards, and those are actually diamond champion level sort of capable decks, they are preventing you from winning because you're playing against them because you're a gold league member and you're like a true gold league person with like a gold league deck. Well, they've got all the sort of bells and whistles in theirs. So that's why it can't be fun. That's why it wasn't fun for a lot of people, especially gold is a little bit of a unique circumstance, at least last season, because even if you were in gold and you were facing off against those giants, you were a little bit okay because when you did win, you were getting 4, 5, 6 SPS, which is big, really big. But the reason that's not I don't know, sustainable or like long-term enjoyable is because it's the problem didn't just exist in gold. It existed in silver and in bronze where people didn't want to stay. They wanted to ascend into gold, but in order to do so, you ran into a wall at top bronze and a wall at top silver. And that's part of why the leaderboards never, they truly, that was a bit of the flaw in the system. It was theoretically fun because we wanted to incentivize the best of the best, but it really was creating these bottlenecks that weren't optimizing and were in fact probably damaging the rating system because it wasn't matching good for good. It was matching you're stuck in gold, you're facing off as this gold member. Todd Haggard, thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Guys, if you're interested, you can become a YouTube member on this YouTube page. And, there's members only content. There's videos I try and do every single week. Live videos. I try and do a 2-hour live for the guys. It's been a couple of weeks because sickness and lost my voice. But yeah, generally speaking, we do that. And then there are certain videos I'll share with them before I share with anybody else too, which is kind of nice for them. So thank you for that. Okay. If I'm going to check and see how many entrants we got on this thing. And I might be rolling this pretty quick here. Looks like we got 21 eligible users. If you're not sure if you're in here, I encourage you to drop a comment. Like I said, I'm going to give channel members are getting 3 times luck. Everybody gets regular luck. I don't know exactly what that means, but like if you're a channel member, you get 3x luck. And you just need to drop a comment within the last 5 minutes before I hit the check. And I'm going to grab all the names on the thing and I'm going to share. I'll tell you right now, I see Alex Toro, Alterix, Ank, Codando, Dom, Ednardo, Eli, Philip, Jay, Jim, Larkin's out there, Jordan.
Channel member luck should be 10 times.
10.
Just throwing that out there.
Marcos, Mary, Matthias, Nathan, Nick, Now Done, Skyer, Tales from the Cryptmancer's out there, and Todd. Okay, I am going to roll it here in a second. So you got last chance. If you want to get your, if you're not included in that list of those names I just read, and I'll put it. I'm using. Let's pull it up on the thing so you can have a peek at it with me. Boom. We're using Nightbot. These are my list, my members here. I got 21, and see we're giving 3x luck to channel members. So guys, before I roll, we got one more to do. I want to say thank you guys to the members, Jim, you too, buddy, for supporting the channel and what we do here. And for everybody who drops comments too, amazing way to support the channel because you spark those ideas. Keep it up. I think we're about to enter something special for Splinterlands, not just because of the possibility for Moon with SPS or cards. I do think those are exciting. I do think there's a real possibility, but I think right now with what's happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think there's ample riches that are being formed in some people's wallets, even this week. And you have to know, I mean, I've been there before, maybe you have too. It's like, where are they going to go next? Because when you double your money in, a month, you start looking at what are some other ways to double my money again. And does that mean they're going to come to Splinterlands? I don't know, but I'm excited, and I hope you are too. So stick around, subscribe, like the video, and we're going to roll. Todd Haggard.
Todd.
Yeah. I think Todd just jumped in there too. Brand new.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, he just welcome to bronze.
Look at that. Love you, buddy. Appreciate it. Check out the members only content.
Wow, this is pay to win.
We got one more Rage, but Todd, drop your IGN in the chat, and I'll make sure you're getting a copy of Rage. Special courtesy of a special donor.
Oops. It'd be funny if you just like burned it and then sent him the DEC,
I wouldn't call that. I wouldn't. Man, $30 card. That's what that is.
No? Am I just crazy? Am I the only one who thought that?
You're a little crazy.
Okay. All right. I think people in the chat want him to do it.
People in the chat. Jim Morgan, Jim M, J Morgan.
JPM 93. I don't know who that is.
False Prophet. I like that name. Eros SL. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Let's see. There it is. Spider Cider. Hey, bro. Got you. I thought about doing a members only giveaway and saying like one of them will go to my members and just be but in the past I've done that, and there's people who support but they don't always read my comments or my sometimes people just support the channel because they want to support the channel. And and so I one time I tried to give away a plot of land, and I chased that guy for weeks and I just couldn't find him.
Yeah.
So it's just better, like it's better to necessitate presence. Spider Cider.
Oh, we got another one.
Yeah, now done. Thanks you, man. Appreciate you.
Wow.
So Spider Cider, one copy of Rage coming your way right now. Enjoy. That's an amazing card. I describe this card as exceptional. Where do you think this lands, Jim? Like scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being, perfect, 1 being terrible, unusable.
Can I take a look at the stats on it?
Yeah.
I don't know what it looks like full.
So right here we got full, you got 5 damage output, 4 speed, 5 armor, 11 hit points. And then you got light, void, weapons training, life leech, and affliction.
All right, so let's just take a look at him throughout his whole leveling setup, right? So level 1, I like that he is a tank for both physical and magical. So he's got a decent speed, he's got the armor, but then he also has flying to sometimes be able to evade that melee and range attacks. And then he just takes half damage from magic. So this guy's, level 1 is kind of a baller tank.
Yeah.
But he's also 16 mana.
That's the question. For the low levels, I don't know if you often get that mana play.
Yeah. He might be able to carry if, say, like, you're able to bring in another really low supporter, like a healer or something like that. It might not be bad. And then he gets the weapons training, and sometimes that supporter you bring in with him isn't going to have an attack. Like, who's that water? Who's the water healer? You know who I'm talking about?
Murdali Guardian.
Yeah, that's the one. That thing is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then you can look at other cards on top of it, so it's not just the only thing.
Like look at the non-attacks. If I go non-attack, you don't have to just look at. I do think Murdali Guardian is unique, good combination because she has tank heal and she has repair. So you're right, she would support, and she has no attack, so she would get the magic attack as well.
Yeah, yeah. So there's some like really good combos you're able to set up with this guy, especially just having him just even at level 2, and he can set up a lot of cool stuff. And then you look at him at 3 and he gets life leech, right?
No,
Life leech.
That might have been level 4. Let's see. No, you're right. Level 3 life leech. Yep.
So life leech, oh my goodness. Not only is he already a good tank that's able to make it to where your team's doing now more damage, now he's healing himself on top of this for 2 extra damage.
Yeah.
It's man, this guy's pretty cool, man. He's hard to get rid of, and he just helps a lot. He does a lot of stuff. And then at max level with Affliction, oh my goodness. Affliction's just phenomenal.
Dom asking how many Prince Julians you have. I am Prince Julian free. I am without Prince Julian.
You don't have one of those?
No. The other day I saw one that was like, let's see what the price. No, I don't think reasonable is the right word, but like available maybe. Look at this right here, $4,000. But there are only.
Dude, 4K, that's reasonable. I ain't gonna lie.
There were only 83 copies of this card.
Yeah.
Like that's, you look at like any NFTs and how that has been a very booming sector of crypto. And let's say it's kind of fallen off a little. Like, I mean, maybe people aren't so pumped about NFTs as much as they were in the kind of the like peak of that frenzy.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those NFTs that were, buying and selling for crazy money, totally without sort of utility. And then a card like this, super scarce, functional, like, yeah, promo bonuses, legendary bonuses, low mana, which is interesting. Now, mind you, you'd have to drop it in the wild, which not everybody wants, but still, I wouldn't buy the 4Gs. I would buy other cards, but I really do like the value proposition associated with these, and with these NFTs being as rare as they are. I do think one day you see cards like this just like not available. It's like flat out not available. Like the gold foil version of this, there are 7 cards of this kind in the game, in the world. I think Gold Matters bought one of these recently, if I recall correctly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude's crazy.
He is, dude, for sure. Guys, what do you think about Rage with respect to these different abilities? Where's the real like break point for this card? I only have it at level 2. I saw Todd drop in the chat. The one we just gave him made it to level 2. I would love to get that level 3. The extra damage could be interesting because you'd get more life leech, but also, Jim, you made the point that the force field would proc when you had 5 instead of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also do heal 1 extra, I think, right? With the life leech.
Yeah, if you get 1 more, so if you go up to, if you have 5 damage, you'll heal. So you'll life leech 3, and if you do 4, you'll life leech 2.
Yeah. So I mean, 2 and 3 are both very important. 4 is just a nice little addition to have. But sometimes it's better to not have, because he also does lose that 1 max life. So off chance to where that 1 extra health can matter before he gets off that life leech. Because if he gets bursted, which is definitely possible, sometimes that 1 extra life is going to matter. So
That's
And
the
then
thing
that
too.
one extra HP is not going to matter until his third attack. So, that's also one thing to look at.
Yeah, interesting. This card makes me think about cards that I would say goodbye to despite not wanting to. Like there are cards in my deck right now that I would say goodbye to, and I keep checking in with my Rooney. I would sell my Rooney. I would like I don't want to sell my Rooney, but as I look at what it's worth and what it could get me, let's see. How do I do this again?
What are you considering selling Rooney for?
Well, it looks like there's a best offer of 16 W ETH. So then
Yeah.
that is so ETH 3400. So 3426 times 0.16. That would be 550. That's not really in my ballpark. If I could sell it
Yeah.
for if I could sell it for 700, I probably pull that trigger. The other day, like a couple weeks ago, I saw a moment where I could have sold it for 750. But I hummed and hawed for too long, and somebody took that offer. But it's not like I want to sell Rage, but for 30 bucks, I'm starting to think about it. And it's not like I want to
Yeah.
sell, Rooney, but for several $100, like it's like, okay, I could see I could do a lot with that. Like look, I'll show you guys my using Splinter Coach data. Rooney is it wins a lot. Not Runic Skyclaw. Let's see. Rooney. Look at this. I play it quite a bit. Not like it's not one of my most played cards, but it's number 37. And it's got a strong win record. So when it works, and it plays quite a bit. But what would probably get played just as much for 500 bucks? I could buy myself like a gold foil. I could buy myself a gold foil Lily Shieldpaw, and it plays more, and it's going to give me the bonuses. Or I could come into Rebellion and start finding some pretty interesting new cards. I always want to look at this. I don't know if everybody in the chat feels this way, but I am always looking at like what are some of my assets being overvalued compared to other assets. And that doesn't always mean that the asset I'm talking about or that I'm thinking about selling is, even particularly expensive. But if I, for instance, was able to pull a trigger on a trade for a Rooney for 550, and that 550 could buy me, for instance, a max Chaos Golem, a max Demis Archon, a max Zibigian, a max Barak. Like, I mean, pretty much, like it would transform my entire deck. Like, okay, so it would really give me 4 or 5 of these is what it would do. 5 new legendaries for 1 legendary. And then these legendaries would also sit in my mage wagon, by the way, earning me airdrops that are going to come really soon. So you see where I start to talk myself into some of this stuff. I don't know if everybody thinks it that way, but to me, that's part of the real cool experience about Splinterlands. There's a real gamification to how you think through the economy and your deck. Tereb says Rage at level 3 is the sweet spot. Mine is at level 2 and will stay there most likely. False Prophet, I won a Rage from Magic the Gathering. Sold it for 21 bucks and bought a land plot. Good for you. It's nice to have a land plot, man. Especially if that's one of your only or maybe your first. $21 for a land plot too, I would argue, is a really good price. Alex, Rage is cool, nothing crazy, but I also haven't seen any data on him. We'll see. Let's play it. We'll play a couple of battles here in a minute here with Rage. False Prophet, gathering the magic, not MTG. I knew. I think I knew what you meant. Tereb, the extra life is important when you're healing him. Absolutely, because Tereb is pointing to level 3. He has 12 hit points, and level 4 he has 11 hit points. But then remember, he has the extra damage, so he'll grow his own health pool rapidly through life leech. Tereb, you're such a pragmatist, Wayne. Yep, I think that's probably true. I'm just trying to be pragmatic about, what are the options in front of me. It's not. It is of course a collectible card game, and I like being a collector. I like accessing these cards and trying to build a deck that I love. And part of me wants to go back and buy like a kitty because of that. Like, and so there's a part of me that totally gets the desire to own things for the sake of it. It's like I don't. Boom. Yeah. I definitely get that. But I also really get the thoughtfulness around like what could I do with that in addition? What are my options? If I fully think that through, I might be able to transform my entire deck. Phoenix says 16 mana is just so hard to play. Like, how often does Agor or Chaos Dragon get played? Rage is going to get played next to two small, no attack guys a lot. That's right. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. But I also don't think that that's a deal breaker. And if you want, because I do think you're kind of onto something when you say how often does Agor or Chaos Dragon get played. If we want, we can look at some of that data using Splinter Coach. If we come in here to monsters and we look at my lifetime record, we look up Chaos. Chaos Agent. Chaos Dragon. Look at this. Chaos Dragon, 350 matches with a 578 win record. That's a pretty strong win record across a lot of matches. That's my 21st most played monster in this game. And that's across all my time with this. And I've been using this website for 4 or 5 months now. So this is a big wealth of data. Now, how often do we see it on a monthly basis? Let's look at, oh, I can't look at just February because February just ended. That's too bad. Can I, let's see. No. And then the other one you mentioned, what was the other one? Agor. Let's look at what my Agor data looks like. Agor Longtail is less frequently played at 79 and 80. Sorry, 79 and 90. But I guess this is also because I think my Agor Longtail is, well, it's a Rift Watcher card. So it's more new than the Chaos Dragon. So I probably haven't had it for as long. But even still, this is a lower win rate and a lower play time. I do think you're kind of on to something. It's not going to be the case that Rage is going to play in every single match, clearly. But let's try and force him into some matches right now as we go for my win streak here. Okay, rules of combat. So stun would be helpful. I think in this new season where they've changed what cards you can play at what league level you're at, it's going to be really useless to look at my opponent's prior 5 matches, or at least maybe not useless, but far less useful, because wherever you were like set in stone for quite a while, and I could read your rhythms. But now I would argue you're going to soar through spots, and I think you're probably, it's not going to be as useful of a piece of information. Not to say it won't help, but it won't be as useful. Do a gladiator play. This is something I like doing a lot with the red team. Okay. So I go Crash Wanderfer in the first with an 8 speed and the swiftness. Definitely bringing Rush Townsend. Then we bring a weapon trainer. I got this melee weapons trainer maxed out nowadays. So he gives a melee to Crash Wanderfer, which has Bloodlust and the speed. So now we have a really fast team. We have a Bloodlust and a strong reach monster. It would be good to have a heal, but I don't know if I have any tank heal on this team. Nope, I have 0 tank heal. Blind. This is maybe helpful. This might be worth it with the... I'm going to think about that if I got nothing else. Now, what about Swift? That's a good one. And then I want to get another non-attacking monster beside my melee weapon trainer. Oh, we need to bring Amp because Crash Wanderfer has thorns. So now I've just put thorns. I've just put my Venari Heatsmith in the third spot, which will be weapon trained by Phyrexia, and it will have the melee when it goes into the final in the first spot if it ever goes. Plus the Amp is going to make my Crash Wanderfer that much more thorny and maybe proc more Bloodlust. Let's find out. He has a lot of speed too, double speed, and a one slow. I have one. I only have one. I thought I brought two. Oh, I brought a blind over here. A blind and one speed. No, two speeds and a blind. So I guess theoretically his numbers will be higher because he has one more slow, but my blind should help me out. I'm a little nervous about
this. And most of this stuff is range too.
Yeah. This opportunity though is going to come dropping bombs right on here. That's a nice. Oh, do you see that? Wow.
Beautiful.
Just ate him up with the ambush.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Now he's going to blast and he's going to kill two of my key. Ooh. Oh, I thought it was blast. He doesn't have his blast Sinesh. He only has level 3.
Oh, that's not okay. Yeah, it's at max, right?
I'm really surprised how this is playing out right now.
Easy game. All right, it's not over yet, but
no, it is not.
Ooh.
Okay. What's going to happen right now? That's helpful, but not enough. Oh.
Oof. Big oof.
Yep. Okay, can't win them all. Keep her going, but I'm going to try and check in with the chat while we do.
Yeah.
That's heavy false prophet.
Oh, but I think I actually might be having to head out.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm grouping up with my friend. It was actually his birthday 2 days ago? 2 days ago on Wednesday. So, yeah.
Amazing. Jim, thanks for hanging out for the time you were able to, bud. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Nice to see everyone in the chat again.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, thanks for having me, man.
King, good to see you, bud. Thanks for popping by. Jim, let's chat sometime soon. Maybe next week we'll do some games.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I'll see you later.
Bye for now. King, alive, my boy Dwayne, what's up? Since you're replying Discord regarding our current topic, thank you. I look forward to reading that comment. Dom, keep rocking the content, friend. Nap time for me. Appreciate you, Dom. These giveaways remind me of the Splinterlands TV days. Yeah, for sure, Larkin. Absolutely. Back when there was like people's pockets were feeling fat, and Splinterlands too, by the way, would like give us a lot of those rewards to hand out. Okay, magic reflect. What's the play? Oh yeah, we're gonna try and do rage. Okay, let's try and do that. Let's get in here with some arcane maybe. Boom, boom. Where's my ragey? Oh, but it's magic reflect, but that's not a deal breaker. Let me think. I might have to nix this because of that, but let's it's not necessarily doesn't necessarily have to happen. Reflection shield is always nice, isn't it? This is interesting because of the blind. It's interesting because of the cleanse, the repair, etc., etc., etc. But I feel like I've come too far. Like I'm gonna pick this play no matter what with the amount of time I have access to. Another non-attacker would be wise, but I'm kind of out of time here. I guess I'm dropping a silver blade. This feels like it's not going to work, but let's find out together. So he's got sneak. He only has one sneak. It would be interesting to use lookout possibly, but he's going to probably hit me. He does have a... Yeah, he's probably going to hit me. Let's go. like this. Ambush. And let's make it boom, boom. Let's find out. The magic reflect is going to be annoying. I didn't bring a triage. It's probably going to be a big deal breaker for me. And I don't have the life leech, but I do have void over here. While that's unfolding, I'm just going to check into the chat. I think this is true. Tarab says the small mana, no attacker can be Dagon Dark Surveyor. Nice toolkit too with the health there. Yeah, there's a lot of those cheap monsters that are really going to fit into that play with Rage. I agree wholeheartedly. Oh, it looks like things are working out for me. I think you're probably right. The max Rage, especially within the champion rule set, or, you know, oh, you know what? Not even anymore. And I was going to say within the champion, but actually you get to play that at any level now. I do absolutely think that's going to be a powerful card that's going to really transform how people play. The question is, do you have the mana to make it work? Right there, we fit it in and we had 37 mana, right? Yeah, we had 37 mana. I do think you kind of need to have 30 mana to 50 mana to really make that make sense. Otherwise, you're just using trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, you know what I mean? Okay, let's think this through. I don't know if we have any immunity. Let's see. Okay, we got him. What about green? Okay. We got Blackmore and Nymph, but that's just she's too little. No, all I got is that. Okay. Come in here. Definitely bring you. And then what else we can do? I think I'm gonna try and bring some scavenge out in this beast. To me, scavenge is like one of the best plays when there is noxious fumes. And then you gotta bring out little guys and let them die. But I don't need only little guys. It might be wise to bring out, oh yeah, we got to bring out the Marks Rat. Yes. This could work. Is that my only martyr? Yes, on the blue team it would be. Okay. Let's get rid of the Chaos Agent. I think something like this. We'll see. We'll see how that works. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to give away the next one in about 15 minutes or so, guys. If you are still hanging out and you're enjoying the content, if you got questions, let me know in the chat. I'd love to get into it. I want to keep playing Modern, but I don't, I'm definitely, I would love to have a conversation. So if there's points of chat, let's get into it. The reflection shield in the second spot, help me out there. The armor showing up big. Did the cleanse on his platoon, but it's not gonna be good enough because I got the magic over here. Moose of Saline, level 4, just got leveled up recently. It's strong card, and that scavenge is gonna go to work here. Now, there we go. One scavenge starts procking over here, sustaining my 2 scavenges. We got a heal and repair. This is over. He's trying to use the heal over here to out-sustain, but I have the immunity. I also have sustain. I also have scavenge. Like I said, scavenge can be a nasty way to win a noxious fumes battle. It doesn't just have to come down to heals, triage, cleanse. Those are valuable too, but it's not the only way. Boom. Victory. I think I'm going to cruise pretty high this season. I'm going to focus pretty hard on Modern this season and see what we can do. We're in Silver 1. We are 90 points out of Gold. I would love to see what that... If we can win 5 in a row, we will push into Gold. If we can win 4 in a row, I think We might even because of bonuses. But that'd be good to see what gold is doing. So I'm gonna keep going, but I also am gonna check in with the chat. Alex says my phone died. I was typing. I'm the meaning of, I think you're talking about of that word that somebody said about me. What word was it again? Pragmatic. Yeah. Pragmatist, a person who's guided more by practical considerations than ideals. Yes and no. I absolutely try to look at the full picture. I try to say to myself, like, what makes sense and what do I want? Like, so there is an emotional connection, but then it's like, I refuse to let that govern or make the final decision. We have Dragon available, but with 23 mana, I don't know. Now, this is interesting, but remember, when you have a low mana cap, when you have Equalizer rule set, using one big monster doesn't always make sense. I'm inclined to boom, boom. Now, I think we do like a bit of a, I don't usually use sneak attack plays, but like, you see what, like I am able to put a really formidable sneak attack together here. Now I need to bring out some heals. I'm inclined to maybe go like this and then we're gonna fatten up the front line a bit. Bring out the scavenge, bring out the chaos agent. Oh yeah. Get rid of Crocs, go like this. So now we've got Ruz. I think I gotta do it like that. No, let's go like this. That's the play. So I'm a bit of a sneak attack defense over here with the Naga Assassin. I have a healer that's going to do a lot of heals. I have a tank that's going to have a good amount of hit points because Chaos Agent's going to be buffed up by Equalizer. Then I have a real sneak attack play. Let's see how that goes. Ooh, he's got the blast from the second spot with the trample. And he's got True Strike too, by the way. And he did put, this was a smart play right over here. I think I'm in trouble. But mind you, I'm putting out a lot of damage. I'm putting out 6, 9, 11 damage to the rear. It's going to take a few turns though, isn't it? We get through, it's going to take another full turn to eat through Igor, and he's going to repair Igor. But look, we're you know what? As long as I'm dodging these guys, Mantaroth actually won't take out the Chaos Agent. This is my point. Earlier I said big cards with huge mana are not the play in the Equalizer rule set. Mantaroth is an amazing card, but its toolkit, or one of its pieces within its toolkit, is absolutely the fact that it has a huge hit point pool. Right? One of the reasons Mantaroth is such a great card is that it has 4 armor and 11 hit points. It is sustainable. It has resiliency. That's one of the pieces of its kit. And in this context, with the Equalizer rule set, that's entirely irrelevant. The Chaos Agent has just as many hit points. The Pelacor Bandit has just as many hit points. The Vruz has just as many hit points. So it ends up being irrelevant that you have this one tank when I have 6. And I've built my deck to be really sustainable with the Merdali Guardian, who's repairing and strengthening and tank healing. And of course, we pulled it to win. Can you make money with land? There seems to be a lot of taxes, transportation fees, maintenance fees, salt fee, etc. Good question. I do think you can, but the question with respect to making revenue with land has to be brought back to like the bigger, broader question of timeline. What is your time horizon for this? Like, are you fixated on making revenue streams today that are going to outgrow or outpace your expenses? That's the question. And, if that's your vision, like you want to daily today in 2024, March, profit significantly from your land production, then I think you are going to come at it from a place of generating grain, and grain doesn't sell for very much. So you can figure out how much grain you can produce, and you can figure out how much grain you need to eat, and then you figure out how much grain you have left over, and then you figure out how much grain gets sold for. Soon we're gonna have a grain LP, but regardless, right now you're selling that like peer to peer, and there's not a lot of margin there. Or you can look at it from a perspective of SPS production. But if you have one plot of land and you're producing SPS with that plot of land, well, you got to buy grain in order to feed those workers to produce the SPS. So it really comes down to how many plots of land you got, what's your time horizon. Because if you've got 20 plots of land, you can begin to build a bit of a, like I do. I've got a bit of a like a production model where I'll show you. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 of my plots that are not yet launched out of 38. So 26 have been launched and one of them's under construction. And then from that, as you can see, I've got many that are grain. More than half of them are producing grain. Then I've got a few research and several SPS. That's the sort of layout that you're going to need if you're operating a similar approach. Now, if you just approach it from grain and then sell your excess grain, you're going to realize a small profit, but it's going to be so insignificant as you compare that to the cost of your plot of land, the cost of the cards you put on the land, the DEC you have to stake, the power source you have to buy, etc. There's a huge cost to getting even a cheap plot of land up and running. If I go into buy land, the cheapest plot, 26 bucks, but then you're going to have to spend something like $50 with a DEC and maybe $50 worth of cards to make that thing work. Something like that. Maybe it's a little less, but you're talking $70 to $100 worth of cost to launch a plot of land that's going to produce a little bit of grain or maybe a little bit of SPS, which you need to buy grain for. Oh, no, I'm good. Thought I was queuing up a match. So I guess I'm saying if you want to, profit today, that's not going to be the play. The best play, if for the person who really is looking at revenue streams, is going to be speculation on a crypto token, and that would mean maybe you buy SPS, maybe you buy vouchers. You want to think these things through and make your own decision. But we talked about how vouchers are being used now for energy. Is there a play wrapped up in that over the next few days or weeks where it's currently selling for 4 cents, but maybe it goes to 5 or 6, then you sell for a little bit of a profit? Is that a thing that you would that would move the needle for you, that you would be interested in? If so, you'd really want to look at the tokenomics of vouchers. Are you interested in SPS because one, you like the game and you want to be here for a long time? Do you think that there's really a reason to start believing that SPS might go back into 3 cents again soon because of what happened with Bitcoin or with the Ethereum, etc.? If you start to build that case, and maybe the speculation is really just buy some SPS and hold it. Because I do think, land is going to cost you a significant cost to set it up. And you're not going to realize that return in a short period of time. We're probably talking a combination of future price appreciation for the plot of land, plus future price appreciation for the SPS token that you might garner from the land before you're ever going to say, wow, that land really paid me something. So for me, the answer is yes, land will reward you. Yes, it is financially, viable. It's paying me significantly, but that's because I look at these resources and these assets across a long time horizon. I'm not trying to expect that the tokens would be sold anytime soon. I'm okay with holding my SPS, growing my SPS. I'm okay with acquiring research on my land or grain. I'm just stacking grain. Like I'm up to $1.7 million on my grain. Does it have a huge value right now? No, but I do think it will when we see LAM 1.6 and 2.0. These big changes are going to produce, in my mind, expected profits. And so that's a long answer to your short question. I think there's probably better ways to realize short-term gains, but there's a lot of speculation within short-term gains. I don't want to really speculate. I want to look at the big picture and sort of set myself up for a long-term positive growth with the game of Splinterlands. Because to me, this is revolutionary. It's not just like a trivial, like whatever. It's like, this is a special, totally different thing where you receive reward for your time and attention. And that's new and cool, and I'm about it. So Thanks for the comment. Super sneak, no heals, low mana. Again, we can't play dragon. Let's go Loblo land. So we bring out one of my favorite sneakers. There she is. Now, my only concern with this is that I'm being quite transparent. If I do this, it's probably clear that my opponent will expect that. Does that mean they counter me? Maybe. I might need to... I'm actually going to pull away from that because of that strategy or that concern. Let's lean into magic. I haven't done a magic play all... Well, I haven't done... Boom, boom. So check this out. Now I don't know. I'm 1 over mana. What can I do here? I don't think I can do anything. That's my cheapest summoner. I could get rid of Regal Parrington. I don't need Bilka, I suppose. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, I like that. Now, boom. Give that a shot. So he's going to sneak attack into my Martyr. He's going to proc the Dr. Blight. Then he's going to sneak attack into the Fungus Flinger. And he's going to proc the Dr. Blight as well as the Regal Parrington. He didn't bring a silence. So I like my odds. His heal is non-existent, even though the Windiku theoretically heals. There is no heal. Also, my parenting killed the Chaos Agent, which is clutch because those misses could be annoying. We got camo on the Dr. Blight, so that 4 bomb is just going to secretly accumulate. Look at this. Look at this Dr. Blight over here. The 5 bomb from the Dr. Blight. Yeah, this is interesting now. Yeah, I think we win this. It does kind of... I'm hoping for some dodges on my Parrington. See, that's a big swing and a miss. I had a 65% chance to dodge, but it's not a done deal. The backfire procking. Nice little W. Windiku is going to get eaten alive by these 2 giants in the back line here. So this might push us into gold, and then we'll get to see a little bit about what gold produces from a SPS standpoint. Someone said some of that stuff hasn't changed yet. And I hear you, but look at this. This is still a silver battle. I'm getting 3.1 SPS in Silver League play. Guys, I get 3 SPS in Champion in the Wild. Like, this is the time to be excited about Splinterlands, man. This is the time. Silver League 1. I just got 10 cents for that win, right? Well, not quite. 3 cents per SPS, 2.5 cents. So 8 cents per that win. Flow goes first. No, keep your distance. Now, can we do dragon? Yes, let's do it. We're going to do a cane again. And we're going to do the blue team for the... We're going to bring out this guy. We're going to bring out the healer. Non-attackers. Slow goes first. I'm trying to remember that. We'll bring out the Bakjira maybe. I'm not certain I want to take out the Bach because the Bach is... Yeah, I think we do that. I think that makes sense. think, what's my cleanse situation? Hmm. Okay, let's bring this guy. Now, who are my, I brought a cane, but it's maybe not the play. It's interesting, but it's not necessarily the play. Blue. Give that a is he going to play? I'm worried about him playing that sneak attack for the 8 mana that I used with the melee. No, you can't use melee. Okay. With that said, we're going like this. Boom. Silence, poison, big damage. He's got a lot of slow monsters, which should hit. I think I'm in trouble. I think I'm in trouble. I think we lose this one. Because this has got void. It's also got, he's got heal over here. And his things are all slower. And he's got this double silence. Oof. And he's got, yeah. Yeah, I think we're hooped. We're only doing theoretically 2 damage. Yeah, we're done. This is a card that's like absolutely must have, man. Just must have. Okay, this looks like a fun conversation. Veneth, opinion on this hot take. Vouchers have only been bad for Splinterlands so far. All use cases have taken away from DEC and SPS. They overvalue them, and force the use while it would have been more beneficial for them to stick with DEC or SPS in all cases. This is a great comment. Thank you, Veneth. I think you might be right. As I read it, I'm trying my best to like get to a place where I can like disagree with you. Truth is, I don't see it. Like I don't know how I disagree with you. It just seems objectively true that there hasn't been any real benefit. There hasn't been any real benefit to it. Like what the theory was, it was going to represent your degree of time in this space, because you will have earned so many of the vouchers because you've been here longer than most, and that's going to indicate that you've been here for a long time, and that's going to allow you to have access to certain things which otherwise you wouldn't be able to get. But because they print them at such a sort of significant rate, that's not been the case. Like, and they print the vouchers at 40,000 a day, I think. Simultaneously, there's just not any ongoing demand for them. So it's like every now and then we issue a pack where you can use them to your better benefit, but that's only every now and then. And for all those reasons, it looks to me like I don't know why we have them. It makes sense on the paper if you say, I want to acknowledge the people who've been here the longest, who have the big bag of SPS, who've been staking for a long time. I want to reward those people. I get it. But then you need to actually make that token have a functionality, a usefulness. And the failure to have done that, which is the missing piece, if there was assets that you would want and have always wanted, that would have changed the entire desirability and therefore tokenomics around, and finally price for vouchers. But you, as it is, because they didn't create demand for it, you are 100% right. And it just simply is not a success. It's it's maybe the main failure within the tokenomics of Splinterlands. I might go one step further and say, I do think that it could be fixed so long as we agree that future player-based growth and new offerings that demand use of vouchers could get us to a place of voucher scarcity. Because the question lingers, like, if they were scarce, they would be valuable. If they were valuable, it would represent a great reward. but there would have to be some usefulness to it that made them scarce. So give us meaningful purchases that we can only get through vouchers to the point where they are gobbled up. Maybe energy is that play long term. I don't know. It's too early to say. But I think generally speaking, based on the past we've seen, I think you're just right. It's not even a subjective conversation. I think you're right. And that's unfortunate because we want to encourage ownership of SPS. We want to encourage, so, you know, it makes sense why they did it, but the failure was in not issuing enough assets that made it desirable to have vouchers. And maybe that was a product of the team having to lay off so many people. I don't really remember the timeline. That's the one lingering sort of that's an excuse. I'm giving an excuse. But truth is, set aside the excuses. It's not okay that there's a token that's really diluting the value and interest away from DEC and SPS, which are, the core of what this game is. The Bokjira held out, guys. We out persisted him. Love it. But yeah, good comment. And I'm going to give away this last rage here, guys. It's already 1 o'clock. I can't believe it. We're going to give away the last rage. And there was another win. That was my second win with rage today. And we shoot into gold while we're doing it. So did that change my voucher costs? No, still 5 because I'm diamond on the other league level. So I'm going to try and win one from gold before we go here if I can, because I want to see what sort of SPS or DEC, SPS earnings we're getting from gold. But I want to go into, make sure I'm tracking the comment section. And before we do that, guys, 33 concurrent viewers. If you're enjoying the content, if you appreciate my channel and what I do here, please drop a like. It's one of the ways you can, free of cost, really support what I'm doing. So thank you for that in advance. 2 new members today. Thank you guys for signing up. Thank you to the special donor of these assets. These are not my cards that I'm giving away. They were given to me specifically for the purpose of saying thank you to people like yourself who just love Splinterlands and enjoy this conversation. You know what I saw? I saw the Splinterlands Town Hall had 120 viewers live. Man, that's awesome. People are excited about this. Now, is the player base thriving? No, it's still really small, but it's super exciting to see the energy, exuberance, you know what I mean? The joy that is still here, even while SPS is at 2.7 cents and card prices are where they are. They're not at the floor. They were lower in October of last year, but they are quite low still. So love it. Appreciate you guys. Now let's pull up. Bear with me for a sec. Go. Oh, there it is. Okay. So drop your comments. Let me know. I'm tracking. This one's going to be a really easy opportunity to win here, guys. Right now, there's only 5 people eligible. So drop a comment. We got Chris West, Marcos, Nathan, Tareb, and People's Guild. And then there's somebody just popped in. Marcos, Larkin, Chris West, Marcos, Nathan Pekin, Tareb, People's Guild. And I'm given 3x opportunity to channel members, which means Nathan, I think, is a channel member. Yeah, he is. So Nathan, it's like you have your name in 3 times and everybody else has their name in once. People's Guild, Tareb, Marcos, Larkin, and Chris West. Nick, you just hopped in. I'm going to give it like 1 more minute or so. But yeah, I want to, if you guys are paying attention and other people are sleeping and not paying attention, that's okay. 1 in 10 chance at this very moment. And yeah, special thanks to Nathan and to Todd and to the other sign up. But Nathan, you've been around for a while. Appreciate you guys. We're doing here. Boom. Love it. Thanks, guys. 30 likes. Appreciate you. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I don't think I ever caught a. Good to see you. I'm assuming. I appreciate people's skill dropping by, guys. Check out the channel. Maybe my favorite long form content with respect to Splinterlands. I think it is, and that goes for like all the long live streams too. I mean, I love these too. Like After Sun does the lives, but I mean, you know, it's great to see a one guest, a long form conversation. It's exciting. It's fun. Check them out. Frodo, love it. Love the name TW Frodo. Okay, we're gonna roll it. I see Tails is out there. Appreciate you. Nightbot. Okay, we got 17 eligible users. Nathan's got in there. Now Dunn's in there. And you guys each are going to have 3 opportunities because of the channel member luck. We're rolling now. Alterix pulled it out. Alterix pulled it out. So go ahead and drop your in-game name, and I'll make sure that you have a brand new Rage Legendary Monster card. Pull that puppy up right now. My poor little mage wagons. They are worse for wear as a result of these, as a result from this live event. That's okay. I'll give away. No. Okay. Alterix. It's the same spelling. Okay. So it's Altrix. Altrix. I'm going to check that one more time. Cool. Send. Boom. There you go, brother. And guys, to the new members, as well as some of the ones that are going to hear this later, thank you very much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys. I am going to do a live YouTube members video. Let's see. I'm going to set one up next week. And because I had to do this week, so I wouldn't be able to, but I'll do one next Thursday or Friday, same rough time. And so bring your questions, drop your comments. And as always, if you are not a member, but you want me to address your questions, critiques, you know, comments over Splinterlands or any other blockchain-based video game, I'd love to see that in the comment section as well. What I do regularly go through there. And if you leave your IGN and I use your comment, I'd love to say thank you. So I'll send you some DEC if I see an IGN. Okay, guys, my voice is a little sore. I'm going to hop off, but thank you for everything. You guys are awesome. Drop a like on your way out. Have an amazing day. God bless.